Them to swear.
But this is the question that we're asking. And again, I defy you by the time... I'm not going to talk, I'm just introducing it. I defy you by the time that Shaun finishes talking, that you are all asking exactly the same question too. Go, Shaun.
Good evening, everybody. The question that we're asking, the reason we're sitting here, is we want to ask, who the hell is Kevin Hutchinson Foster? He's a man currently serving 7 years in prison for selling or transferring a prohibited firearm to my brother. This firearm that seems to have the ability to vanish and reappear, as we know, it leaps and finds itself 10 feet away from whoever, 20 feet away from whoever's supposed to be holding it. He's also serving a further 4 years consecutive sentence for possessing a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence, and a further 9 months concurrently for assaulting occasioning actual bodily harm. Having used the weapon on the 29th of July to pistol whip a man called Peter Osei-Debe. This was in the Blue Lagoon hairdressing salon in Kingsland Road, Dalston. Now it's alleged that he's passed a box containing a gun to Mark on the 4th of the 8th, 2011. Mark was killed by the Metropolitan Police Service minutes later. As a result of the IPCC conducting forensic analysis on the weapon, they found at the scene Kevin Hutchinson Foster and Peter Osei-Debe were arrested. Kevin Hutchinson Foster's prints and Osei-Debe's DNA were identified. Kevin was arrested for possession of the handgun on the 24th of October. Now this is like some 3 months later. So these people who are charged themselves with taking handguns off the street, who by this point already know that this guy is in possession of handguns, they do absolutely nothing for 3 months.
Anybody heard that? Rubbish.
Osei-Debe was arrested, but he told investigators that he had been pistol whipped with the gun by Kevin Hutchinson Foster, which is why his DNA was present. They had reported it to the Hackney police, namely, this name comes up again, D.S. Belfield and D.C. Faulkner. At that point, we learned that 2 police officers at Shoreditch Police Station were being investigated by the IPCC following an internal complaint from Hackney Police that D.C. Faulkner and his supervising officer D.C. Belfield should have done more to investigate the attack which took place in the Blue Lagoon. The original IPCC report into the complaint cleared the officers of any wrongdoings, but was soon withdrawn for the IPC to conduct further investigations. They then said that they would not release the final report until after the inquest. Well, where is this report? At the inquest, D.S. Belfield admitted that he had not recorded or flagged the incident at the Blue Lagoon as a firearms incident. He also admitted that out of the 32 available witnesses, he chose to take statements from only 3 of them. He then describes the three as ones that he chose to take statements from as reluctant witnesses who failed to give him any evidence. The internal complaint also says that these 3 statements were of very poor quality. So basically they're just rubbishing what they're being told. His records state that the CCTV was downloaded from inside the Blue Lagoon on the 30th of July and was to be passed to the Digital Evidence Unit. He should have captured the CCTV footage, then taken it to the DEU, the Digital Evidence Unit, where they could capture the best quality still picture and use this to create a briefing for the local officers, but the records show that this was not done. Neither was the CCTV circulated via the Metropolitan Police Service, caught on camera system, which is the Met-wide system where officers look for photographs of criminals caught in the act. DS Belfield blames DC Faulkner for these two lapses. DS Belfield also accepted that he had failed to check the council's CCTV or bus footage. The council's CCTV is later discovered to show Kevin Hutchinson Foster running out of the Blue Lagoon with the weapon in his hand. Witnesses tell of a silver car that leaves the scene at speed, even going through a red light. Belfield dismissed this as an unmarked police car responding to an emergency, but it's later found out to be Kevin Hutchinson Foster leaving the scene.
Can you repeat that, please?
Witnesses tell of a silver car that leaves the scene at speed, even going through a red light. Belfield dismisses this and basically claims that it's an unmarked police car responding to an emergency. But we later found out that this was Kevin Hutchinson Foster leaving the scene. The complaint against Belfield notes that the CCTV inquiries and supervisory reviews of the DC Faulkner was doing to progress the investigation were not carried out by Belfield. There was no updates on the CRIS, the criminal reporting system, from the 31st of July to the 29th of September, as if this crime never happened. Having viewed the CCTV himself, Belfield didn't flag it as a firearm incident, as he couldn't be positive that the black object that Kevin Hutchinson Foster had in his hand was actually a gun.
You're right. That's right.
Exactly. DC Jenkins, who knows Kevin Hutchinson Foster and was brought in to identify him as the assailant in the CCTV, said, "I can identify this person as Kevin Hutchinson Foster. Indeed, the CCTV footage shows him producing the gun and pointing it at the victim." Does it actually sound as though these guys actually wanted Kevin Hutchinson Foster?
Does it? Does it? Anybody in here think he does? Any undercover copper in here want to start for the police?
On the 3rd of August 2011, Mark is the focus of a Trident op. They allege that they hear him planning to pick up a strap. They know that Kevin Hutchinson Foster is a supplier. They know where Kevin Hutchinson Foster lives. At this point, they believe that he has 3 guns, not one, he's got 3 guns, stashed at his girlfriend's house in Leighton, so they know this. They decide not to go and take the weapons off the street because he's going to Essex that evening and his girlfriend would be at work. Come on. The 4th of August 2011, based on info from Soccer, Trident sets out to follow Mark when he goes to meet Kevin. Operational plan is to arrest him and recover the gun. Trident calls a masked operation, which involves CO-19 officers. CO-19 are the armed officers, and SCD-11. So they're the specialist armed surveillance teams, which Stafford has already mentioned in the slides. The plan is for SD-11 to follow Mark, but unarmed Trident officers get to Leighton first. Why? We believe that they do this as they know their man, Kevin Hutchinson Foster, will be spotted by SCD-11, and they don't want him to be spotted. So again, the question is, why? They go to Vicarage Road in Leighton, where Mark is heading in the cab. They get there before he does, and they locate themselves in a position to cover the road. They say that the minicab turns into Birchall Road, where the handover takes place. But Mark booked a cab for Vicarage Road, as we know now. The cab driver says he did not go into Birchall Road. He says Mark collected a box from a male in Vicarage Road. The minicab GPS system says that the cab did not go into Birchall Road. This means the Trident officers witnessed the handover but deny doing so. Why? Could it be they're desperate to conceal the identity of the gun supplier because he's working for them? Again, we ask, who is Kevin Hutchinson Foster? After they kill Mark, that's one of the 3 guns they've killed him for, why didn't they go back and arrest Kevin Hutchinson Foster then? He's on parole. They know his parole officer, but they fail to make contact. Again, who is Kevin Hutchinson Foster? Kevin Hutchinson Foster is only arrested once the IPCC conducts forensic analysis of the gun found at the scene. This is on October the 24th, again, I repeat, 3 months. 13 weeks to be precise, after he's been identified as the supplier of the weapons. His girl is not arrested until after his arrest. So, not to be surprised when I tell you that they did not remove the other 2 guns from the streets.
Any of the guns? They didn't get none of the guns?
No. Where are they?
They're waiting to find from somebody.
Is it conceivable that police would kill for 1 gun but do nothing to get the other 2? The story doesn't end there. At the inquest into the death of my brother, DC Faulkner told the coroner and the jury that he had circulated the photographs from the Blue Lagoon around the 14th to the 19th of August. We now know that is a lie. We now know that he misled the coroner and the jury. We now know that he didn't ever circulate those photos. So we asked the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Service this question. Who the hell is Kevin Hutchinson Foster? And what relationship does he have with Trident and the Metropolitan Police Service?